Good morning, everyone. It's good to be back. I see a whole bunch of you are chiming in online, and now that I'm actually live, I don't know if you guys realized the last 3 weeks that was all pre-recorded, and somebody told me that, hey, you may not have known that, so that's kind of fun. This morning, our first prize goes to Becky McKay because she was in first. I guess Zach fell asleep. That's great. So good morning, Gail. Good morning, John and Brenda. Ken and Francis, good morning. Debbie and Jerry, good morning to you guys. Dan and Ellen. Elizabeth says hi twice. I love it. Pete, good morning, Pete. Hopefully you shaved when you come back into the video later. Just kidding. Good morning, Jen and family. Norma, good morning. Missed you Friday morning. Gary, good morning, buddy. Nancy from London. Hey, say hello to your family, please. And Dave, you're there. Great. Nancy, good morning, Nancy. Great to see you online. Good morning, Terrell. Thanks. Yes, I'm glad to be back. Courtney, good morning. What a fun time. This is going to be a good morning, I hope. Lots of good stuff to share with you. I don't know if you've ever listened to meditation music before. I got this app I'm just beginning to use. And the music that Gary picked for that countdown is like this meditative, go to sleep. It's just perfect. It's very soothing. I didn't realize why I was so much more relaxed. Jermaine, buddy, good morning. Hey, Jermaine, where do you live? I don't know what city you're in, but great to see you in, Jermaine. Wayne and Jackie, good morning to you guys. Let's get into some announcement stuff. We got lots going on, so let me hit switch to a share screen and make sure this works. Uh-oh, where are we here? Yes, here we go. All right, let's dig in. So we've got birthdays. By the way, Alex in Ottawa, we forgot to put your birthday up last week. I wrote a note that it was your birthday on the 19th. So happy birthday to you. We never gave you a shout out last week. So maybe you could email us your info. Birthday and anniversaries, we'd love to give a shout out to those who are connected to us. And that goes for everybody that's watching on a regular basis. Send us an email with your birth date so we can celebrate. We'll keep your last name out of it. We'll just do the initials. Jermaine says he's from Bradley, Illinois. Well, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Looking forward to chatting with you again on some video chat. Beth and George, good morning. Who else is Robinson? Good morning. Hey, he's from Pakistan, so we got Pakistan watching. We got Janet Barrington watching. Oops, no last names. DJ and Jackie watching. Great to see you guys online. Let's dig into these. Lauren B. Happy birthday. I think that is an amazing day for you, and I think you're going to get spoiled. I just have a hunch you will. So happy birthday, Lauren. Ed B. Happy birthday to you. I think your family will be celebrating with you. And Courtney, happy birthday to you as well. We got a couple of anniversaries this week. Terry and Tatiana V, happy anniversary to you guys. And Ken and Francis, happy anniversary to you guys. That's really cool. And nothing really new, no new requests. We've had the same ones up for 3 weeks. It doesn't mean their need has diminished. It just means I want to keep this fresh. So if we pull it off for a week or two and then back on, it reminds us to keep praying for one another. One thing I will ask you to pray for is our reopening plans, and you'll hear more about that. So Russ, good morning, Russ and family. Yeah, the fireworks one was good. He's going to re-upload that, or if he hasn't already, he's going to add music to that because apparently last week it didn't have music, and everybody is saying, there's no sound, there's no sound. Well, because there wasn't. So anyway, oops. That's the way it goes. Here's your announcements. Join us for our Zoom chat right after church today. So please email me, mike@hopefellowshipycc.com for the link, or message me on Facebook and you can join in to our Hope Fellowship after church coffee chat. It's usually only half an hour, but it's a good connecting time and get to see each other's faces because it's been difficult not seeing each other for a while. Wolf and Linda, good morning. And Joan, good morning. Joan and Rob, great to see you watching online. Next, we also have a Hope Fellowship family Zoom chat on Wednesday. I don't know if Jen sent the link for that one or if I'm sending the link on Wednesday or on Tuesday, but either way, you'll have the link by Tuesday for the Wednesday night short evening connection time. By the way, I hope you've enjoyed getting to know the Hope Fellowship family. The last 3 weeks we had individuals and couples share their story. It wasn't just 2 minutes like we used to do. We used to do a thing called the Facebook Minute, and it was fun. We got to know each other. But this was deeper and better. I think I heard some really good feedback. Make some comments either in the comments here or something. If you enjoyed that, we'd love to get your feedback on that. I did get some personal comments, and I thought you guys need to know that was fun, and I'd like to do more of that. So here we go. Next one, coffee. Who needs coffee? Let me just exit this share screen. I want to show you something. So whoever needs coffee, I've got lots in stock now. This is the Grace Infusion stuff. This is a 1 pound bag, or you can get a 2 pound bag. And the prices are really, really cheap. It's cheaper than the grocery store, and it's super premium coffee. Most of you already know my coffee is the best. So anyway, if you need a restocking of coffee after me being away for a number of weeks, email me and we'll set that up. If you're in Elmira, I can deliver, and we'll go from there. All right, yeah, Jermaine, hey dude, this is good coffee. All right, back to the announcements because there's lots to share. Here we go. Reopening update. Okay, here's what's kind of going on. Our leadership team had a meeting the other night, and these are just some points I want to make for those that are wondering what's going on. Here it is. So we had a conversation with St. James Church. I spoke with Pastor Hans, and they indicated that they're leaning to a first public service September 13th. So our leadership team is thinking of coordinating on that same day, which means there's a lot of work to do. So that's kind of on the radar, and you'll hear more about that as we move forward. We're also planning on setting up a couple casual outdoor gatherings to connect and say hello at a park. If someone has a large property that they can handle a group of us to come, we're allowed 100 people maximum, well distanced apart, but it'd be really fun to sit around on blankets or chairs, say hello without masks on. That'd be great. So consider, stay tuned because I'm going to book probably 2 of them for August and make that happen. We welcome your feedback also. We'd like to know from you if you could email me, because mine's probably the easiest email, or Jen at info@hopefellowshipycc.com, and just kind of tell us, hey, yeah, we're warm to the idea of joining the live in-person service, provided everything is safe and sanitized and all that stuff. So again, if we do open, this is all based on the current numbers in our region and guidelines from our health department. So we're gonna, what's the right word? I was gonna say submit. We're gonna listen to, or I forgot the word now, but we're gonna adhere to the directions given to us, because not everybody's happy with these decisions. Some people think it's an overreaching of control, others it's whatever, and that's okay. So what we're doing is we're gonna honor the direction given to us by our region. So we got a lot of work to do on that. We're also going to launch, listen to this, a reopening fundraiser. And the reason we're doing this, we're currently looking at getting a special disinfecting machine. It's called a fogger. But they're pricey. The one is quite expensive, probably one of the better ones. We're exploring some other ones. We have a special demonstration coming up this week to help us inquire properly with a person coming here and demonstrating what this machine can do. We can ask more questions and then decide after. But if somebody texted me on Saturday morning and made a contribution already to the reopening fundraiser, because this unit's over, like, I think if we, for the machine and the solution, currently it's about $1,400, and there's some other supplies we need as well. We need dividers, we need boxes of masks to have available. We need to get all kinds of supplies. So it could be around the $2,000 mark, but our budget can't handle it. It just can't. We haven't got the funds. In fact, we're having a hard time financially as it is. However, if you want to contribute to this, please don't take it from your regular giving. That's not going to help us at all. But instead, if you would like to make an above and beyond donation, just contact Jen or do it online and say, hey, reopening fundraiser, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. From a bunch of, it would make a huge difference. We would have our stuff pretty quick. So that'd be great if you guys want to think about that. You'll hear more about that as we go. There we go. Next one, last one. Much work must go into planning. So we are going to adhere to the bylaws and guidelines. Please pray for our leadership team. This is a big deal. There's a lot of planning that has to happen. We're going to do some tries here, test runs for reopening. We have to figure out how the flooring arrows are going to go, and you got to listen to the arrows. We have to have a RSVP or a sign-in plan in place. We have a maximum number of people that are allowed to come into the building or into those rooms at the time. So we got a lot of work to do, and it's going to take until September to get that work done properly, because all of us have jobs or don't have all the free time in the world just to hang out here at this building and figure it out. So please pray for this team. There's a lot going on. All right, what's next? Well, let's go back to share screen. What did I have? All right. Offering. Yes, offering. Isn't this a wonderful time in the service? Hey, if you are encouraged by Hope Fellowship, if you're excited about what you're hearing, the good news that you're hearing, make a donation, support us. That's how we make it. The gospel is free, I've been told, which it is, but it takes money to get it out, and we still have expenses going on. I know everyone's hurting. Not everybody's working, but there are some that are, and some that are able to be more generous than others. I invite you, if you've been blessed, be a blessing. The person who made a donation on Saturday for this reopening fund wanted to spur generosity. Let's see what happens. I think that was it was super encouraging to me. And I wrote back, did you do a typo on your amount? Just like, really? It was just blew my mind. So anyway, go make your donations online, whether it's monthly. If you want to set up something automatic, just reach out to Jen. She'll set you up easily, either through PayPal, your bank account, or credit card. So all that can happen. You can get points from your credit cards. Anyway, here we go. What else? Music. All right, so let's get back to music. We've got 2 songs ready, so enjoy these next 2 songs. I'm gonna need some more music from our musicians. Gary's got some work to do on adding lyrics to some of the ones that are waiting to be used. But our musicians are gonna do some work in August to record even more music. So here we go. Let's go to our music. So sit back, enjoy, take in these songs.
Good morning, Hope Fellowship.
Hello.
Leah and I are going to sing a couple songs for you and with you, hopefully. Hopefully you can sing along from home. First song is Make Me Brave, the Bethel Kids version, because we have a kid. So we'll sort of do this song together. I think it's a neat time to sing this song. Just sometimes I think we may need a little bit of bravery and courage during these sort of weird and uncertain times. So hopefully this is an encouragement to us all this morning.
Good job. I value our musicians
And please, folks, encourage them. They put themselves out there at a great risk. It's time. It's editing. It's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes. And Tara, it was great having your daughter sing along with you. That's really cool. Anything to distract from you. Just kidding. All right. Lots of good stuff coming up today. I just got back from some holiday time and really needed it. It was definitely worth it. And my hope is that I have learned a few things. So I want to share some of that with you. So give me one sec to get this share screen correctly to its spot. Where did I put it? Uh-oh. Give me one sec. Where's my screen? There it is. Okay. Share screen. Here we go. All right. So today's message is called Stop the World. I want to get off. So yikes. By the way, I had to switch microphones. I didn't realize my mic was off. So hopefully my audio is better than I was at the beginning of our time today. So stop the world. I want to get off. It's okay to pause and mend our soul. The reason I want to kind of walk through this topic is because I am not alone. I know that most of us are wrestling with the growing anxiety in our communities, in our world. And so hopefully this will be a bit of an encouragement. So a couple of things that I've enjoyed are on my holidays, or a couple of things that my holiday taught me were these. First, there were times where I didn't even worry about COVID-19 for a number of days. The place I was at, there was no one around. Lori and I went for a walk on a gravel road. There's nobody there except mosquitoes and deer flies. But either way, there were times by being away, we didn't catch the constant barrage of being aware. Oh, are we too close to that person? We didn't worry about mask issues. That was pretty clear. I didn't know if our well, we didn't need masks at the cottage we were at, but when we went into the community, that's the soonest we saw mask issues. And that was very interesting. We really didn't follow the news that much. We even said at different times of the day, okay, no talk about COVID for a few hours. So it was good. We didn't look up stories per se. It was very relaxing. So that was good. A change of schedule is good for the soul. I did notice that while not everybody can get away, changing your routine that will build in ways to think differently and to focus on other things. Oh, did I spell check something? Oh, no, that was, sorry, I misread that. Sorry, Joan. Just half reading because I got ADHD. I can do two things at once sometimes, or back to back really fast. So anyway, back to this talk of things I've learned. Changing your schedule can make a big difference. I had a number of weeks off, but I was surprised at how long it took to change my inside energy pattern. The intensity of how I was thinking, where my mind naturally went. I had all these categories that I had to deal with day to day while I'm at work. But getting away forced some changes. Lori and I had a chance to go kayaking every night. There's a dock at the cottage we were at, and we went on a beautiful, really small, shallow lake. And it was really refreshing just to go out and paddle, distraction. It was good. So I thought, okay, what can we learn from this? So here are some things I noticed over the last number of weeks from conversations with you, from conversations with people around me in my community. These are some of the things I'm observing, and it's likely the same as what you have seen. So tell me if you recognize this. Anxiety and stress is rising. That's clear to me. I'm seeing it in others. I'm having conversations with people who want to chat through that and how to balance that stress. And so, trust me, I don't have it mastered, but I'm observing it and I'm becoming more and more aware of it. Conspiracy theories. Yep, I said it. There are so many out there, and these can be distracting and confusing. There are people who say there's no virus. There are some say no masks should be required. There are some say the government is taking too much control. Some say blah, 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 blah. Add to your list. Doesn't matter. I'm not speaking for or against these. I'm saying that these are contributing factors to our growing anxiety and stress and is robbing you of peace. If you're constantly reading stories, these feeds on Facebook from people, or reading whatever you get from the news, depending what channel you listen to, there are all these theories coming out and ideas and new studies, and the professionals say this, and anyway, you can get really sidetracked. In fact, I got opinions on all this and some of this stuff, but it's not helpful to focus my energy there. It took my holiday to see that a lot more clearly. Next, the fear of getting sick. There are individuals who are authentically afraid of catching this virus. So here's a fact. This is non-negotiable. This virus is real, and it's not like any other virus we've seen before. So our health professionals are trying to figure this out. And incubation period, how it gets spread, blah, blah, blah. This is all new stuff. So I'm not here to argue all the other stuff, but there are people who are far more susceptible to this virus, and we're still discovering what it does. So now we got anxiety and stress going on because of finances, your job, the economy, the world, blah, blah, blah. Conspiracy theories, fear of getting sick is one of them now. Who can we believe? Who do we believe? Who can we believe? There's a lot of voices out there. So when you don't know, or you hear all these voices, this is what can happen. I don't know if you can see me in the video, but you get all these voices coming at you from all over. How can you filter all that? So again, this is part of what's going on. Fear of the world getting worse. Oh, and this is a good one. Could this be the end times? Can I tell you, no, it's not the end of the world. We've been living in the end times for 2,000 years. Okay. And I'm at the end of this series. This is probably going to take 2 weeks to do. But at the end of this one, I want to definitely show more hope on that particular topic. So if some of you are being consumed by conversations from church people or believers who authentically believe the rapture's coming soon, we still need to be loving towards those we disagree with. And if you don't know what to believe, that's okay. I'm going to point you in a direction today that will begin to bring some peace to your soul, so that the spinning earth, this world of chaos that we want to get off of, it's possible to find solace. There really are a lot of issues going on in our world. There's suffering, there's persecution, there are disasters, there are rights movements, there are, you name it, okay? Like, pick your pony. Some people think everybody needs to be fighting the same battle. No, we don't. But respect each other's passions. So again, this is another thing that's contributing to the stress and the stories that I've been hearing these last number of weeks. This is a big one. Great disappointment that humanity is struggling to find hope. It can easily become depressing, honestly, discouraging deep inside, if we only read the news and think the world's getting worse. The news is not our barometer of truth. Jesus is. All right? Really big difference between the news and Jesus. And we can find our hope in him. And I want to point some of that out today. So these are the things that I'm hearing from others. So if half of my calls and video calls and conversations pretty much have this list in it somehow every single time, not only am I hearing it from others, it's coming to me. And I'm going to guarantee it's almost the same with most of you. Right? Most of you probably have these same things. So imagine our whole community, the whole community is rising up with an anxiety, and it's being felt. You can physically feel a community. Angst is the German word, sense of fear and whatever. So let's Zach. Hey, good morning, Zach. You're late. He just chimed in now. That's great. Sorry, I made fun of you earlier for not being in here. Let's focus. Okay, sorry, I just got distracted. Now I got to move to the next slide. Recipe for your soul. This is the point of today's message. These are some of the things I want to cover in the next 2 weeks. First of all, being still. What does that even mean? I believe, and I know from my cottage time, even though I didn't do it nearly enough, being still is critical, and I'm gonna show you some hope from that. Number two, we're gonna talk about Jesus went off to pray. What does that even mean? Well, we'll talk about that. Don't be afraid. 2 Timothy 1:7. God didn't give us a spirit of fear, so we're gonna take a look at that one as well. Rest. What does rest mean? That'll be a good one too. Beloved. That's it. Just the word beloved. Yep. I'll explain that when I get to it next week. And lastly, Nebuchadnezzar, dream of hope. That's a strange one, but some of you may actually know where I'm going with that one. But that is going to be the one I'm going to end with next week. Hopefully I don't have to do 3 weeks. I think for 2 weeks, this one is really good because this is going to deal with the end times fears. I got a really, squirrel, exactly. Thanks, Gary. Nebuchadnezzar, that story of his dream and the interpretation of that dream, go read it in your Bible. Go look it up and read it ahead of time so you're aware of the story. I want to give that some attention, but I think there's a tremendous message of hope in that story alone. But for today, let's deal with being still. Here's some verses that I'd like you to consider for being still. The first is Ecclesiastes 3:7. And this particular text I read at a lot of funerals. There's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to tear and mend, blah, blah, blah. But there's a line here that says there's a time to be silent and a time to speak. We're so used to speaking. We are not good at this thing called silence. So today, I want your mind to hear through your ears and see with your eyes, if you're watching this online, these verses. And you can go back and rewind later once we're offline and look these verses up again. These might be a great meditation for this coming week, just to tell your brain what to think. Because sometimes we're pushed in all these directions from stimuli coming at us. We didn't ask for it, but it's coming at us, whether it's a newspaper headline, whether it's something on the news, whether it's a commercial, who knows? But we need to focus on this word, be still. And of all people, I have a hard time with this one. I totally believe it. In fact, half of this prep it's for me to learn. I'm just inviting you into this. James 1:19 says this: my dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Yikes. Okay. I almost didn't put this verse up. Why would I do that? Well, honesty. I didn't want to, that's me. My job is to talk, so I speak quickly. I don't always listen quickly. My holidays, that was one of the lessons I learned in that first week, was my need to listen better, listen to my family better, instead of jumping in. And I have to learn to change my pattern, because I don't know if you're anything like me. There's only a few of you that are, in the sense that we react and not listen. We don't stop to hear the words of someone, process it, and then respond. We react versus responding. That is a pattern I want to change in my life, because it's not helpful. It's dangerous on Facebook. It's dangerous in conversations. So this advice is for me, but it's also for you. Be quicker to listen. Be slow to speak. And this last one, slow to become angry. Do some of you become angry quickly? There's a lesson here for you. And it's not from me. It's from the Holy Spirit to you. So I'm not the one who does the convincing. The Holy Spirit does. So take that to heart. That's a really good one. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still. I don't know about you, but I like to help God out all the time. Good morning, Cecil. Good to see you there, buddy. I like to help God out. You know, hey, God, I'm going to pray for this thing to happen. Then I jump into my to-do list to make it happen. Oh, my goodness. God doesn't need your help with anything, like anything. He wants us to participate with him out of our knowing him, not in order to do something for him. Our relationship is paramount. So sometimes be still instead of run ahead. Again, can you see how this is speaking just me? some people at Hope Fellowship have said you speak directly to as if like you're speaking right to me. Well, I'm speaking to me right now. So, oh my goodness. And I hope I get done the still section fast because this is uncomfortable. Psalm 46:10. This is where some of you were probably certain I was going to go. So I've got this verse from Psalm 46:10 from a couple translations. You'll like this. Cease striving and know that I am God. All right. Be still and know that I am God is the one most of us are familiar with. The Message translation says, step out of the traffic. Take a long, loving look at me, your high God, above politics, above everything. There's a message for North America right now, especially that politics part. Absolutely. You just need to step out of the traffic. And that might mean the news cycle traffic. That might mean put your phone down and not look at it constantly to see if you're getting a message. I have learned to do that a lot more, and I'm really pleased with that. Here's from the Passion Translation, same verse, be still and know that I'm God. Surrender your anxiety, be silent and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. I love that. That word be still has to do with relax. That's the root word in the Septuagint. It means relax, chill, surrender your anxiety, be silent. I can't believe how much we're striving in our own effort day to day. Next. Psalm 37:7 says, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. This one I almost didn't put in either, but this is important. This one we got to take a look at. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in this way. Don't get all bent out of shape over these evildoers, these ones who are displaying horrific decisions. I didn't make this up. It's right here as an encouragement to you. This is right out of the Psalms. And why are these Psalms written? For your soul. Huh. I don't know about you, but I can get bent out of shape by, oh, another story about that person. Oh, like it can drain you. Well, reduce that intake. Maybe this coming week, choose a time of day every day for 5 days that you're not going to listen to any news or anything. Choose an hour. Just start with an hour. If you can't do that, do a half an hour. You'll be surprised. This takes longer than you think, and it has to be intentional. Psalm 62:5. For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from him. Our soul can get restless. We can worry a lot. We can think and ponder what's going to happen in the future. Are we going to be okay? Our finances going to be fine? Are our kids going to be okay? What's going to happen in the school year? Oh no, what's the political world going to look like in the next couple of months? Like, yeah, we can make our list. I gave you the list at the beginning of the things that are in our faces, but our soul needs to what? Wait in silence. Job 6:24. Teach me, and I will be silent. Make me understand how I've gone astray. Well, let me suggest we've gone astray in our thinking. We've gone astray and created and carved out a new road. It now has deep ruts in it of patterns of thinking. And we don't even know we're in a rut. But maybe we need to ask God, teach me, and I will be silent. I love how it says, and I will be silent. I'm wondering if we stop to be taught, that's when silence begins. Next one. Isaiah 32:17. These are the last two verses on Be Still. Isaiah 32:17. The work of righteousness is peace, and the result of righteousness is quietness and confidence forever. Now, the work of righteousness is not talking about the work of man, that we have to work for it, or there's something involved in that kind of work. The righteousness fruit, the fruit of righteousness is peace. Those who are walking in peace tend to exhibit that they are internally resting in the righteousness of God. They may not even realize they're doing it. Some have learned this habit of contemplation, meditation, and now they don't react as quickly. They respond. Same thing we talked about recently. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. To aspire to live quietly and to mind your own affairs and to work with your hands as we instructed you. Again, this one I almost didn't show either, because it could sound like I'm telling people mind your own business. You can use this as a clobber verse for people and say, well, the Bible says. Well, listen, if you're going to be a person that says the Bible says as a baseball club and try and win a battle of Bible verses, just put your Bible down. It's useless to you. This is talking about the intent of our lives. Here, I'll give you an example. Those of you who are on Facebook, you'll know this. There are certain individuals on Facebook whose dominant characteristic is confrontation. One who likes to stir the pot, wants to cause arguments constantly. They're not there to listen. They're there to give their opinions. That's their pattern. Well, my question is, what's yours? Well, I'm not on Facebook. Okay, then let me tell you this. At your workplace or in your own church, when you meet with people, whenever that opens up or has opened, whatever, there are certain people that are known for either being encouragers. They're people you're drawn to, and there are people that you're repelled from. They're just always negative. They never have a positive word to say. When you have a group meeting, you just cringe when they stand up to give their opinion because you know it's going to be negative. You know those people. You got them in your mind. Well, in 1 Thessalonians, there's a really powerful encouragement that says live quietly. Mind your own business. Mind your own affairs. Work with your hands. The Young's literal translation says this, and this is the reason I put this in is because there's a whole new meaning here. And to study to be quiet and do your own business and work with your own hands. To study to be quiet. Do you know it's work to be silent? It's going to be work to learn how to meditate. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. So do most of you. Because it's not natural to slow down and focus on meditation, contemplation, on good things. This is a big one. I'm looking at the clock, and I'm going to see if I can get through these next ones. Recipe for your soul. I hope that be still part was good. That may just be enough for you today. I don't know. But I want to talk about Jesus going off to pray. I'll do this real quick. There's 6 points I want to make, and they're pretty big. But part of being still might mean to go off to pray. I'm not much into that. I'm not much into that idea of what would Jesus do and try and copy that. It's like the bumper sticker or bracelet, the well-intentioned one. It was well-intentioned, but we're not called to do what Jesus did per se. But he did model some good things. And one of them, I think the best answer to what would Jesus do is the abiding, that Jesus abided in the Father. That's the one thing. And hopefully that will draw us to some positive things we see in his life and find out why he did them. And Jesus went off to pray a lot. Why did he do it? So let's take a look at 6 reasons why Jesus went off to pray, and maybe we can learn something from it. This is not a prescription. This is for your soul. And if 1 or 2 of these hit you, that will draw you towards more stillness times, great, then do it. So Jesus went off to pray. First reason, he was preparing for a major task. In Luke 4, we see the story of Jesus being baptized. He then goes out to be tempted, spends 40 days praying in the wilderness. His public ministry began after this. It began after a major prayer time, a major union time with his papa. That's a good reason to go pray. You want a list of why pray? This is going to be the same list. It's a great one. He went off to pray to recharge. Some of us don't recharge. I was speaking with someone recently, and in our discussions, I realized my holiday time, I needed it more than I knew, and I probably need more. So I have to find ways to change my schedule to not allow the conflicts of this world, the stresses of work, to rob my soul of being the true me, because I have a hunch that sometimes the stuff that comes out of me in activity, action, tone, comes from the stress built up, not from the true me. And unfortunately, that's what sometimes people see or my family sees. And I'd like to make an intentional change in that. I want to be a little more fun. I want my response to not be a reaction more often. Anyway, I'm preaching to myself here. So Jesus had to recharge. In Mark 6, by the way, I got these points from a guy named Ward Cushman. I didn't make these up. I just saw them and said, this is a great list. So I'm borrowing them from Ward. Don't know who he is, but these are great points. I just don't want to make it look like I was making these up. I have to give the credit to where it's due when I know where the content's from. So Jesus had to recharge. He sent the 12 disciples out to do ministry. Then they returned. He encouraged them to rest from people and work. Absolutely. This is a hard one for those who don't know how to stop. Those who try to work so they don't have to deal with other issues in life. If you're too busy working and then coming home and busy and avoiding all necessary relationships and conversations, that's unhealthy, because you might be distracting yourself from having the most meaningful conversations you need to have. So even Jesus is telling his disciples, hey guys, you got to chill from work and from people. To work through grief. Yes, Jesus had to go away because he was grieving. In Matthew 14, you'll see that Jesus learned that his cousin John had been beheaded. He went away by himself. And I love this line, even the Son of God grieves. And we see another story in where Jesus is late for a funeral when Lazarus passed away, and he grieved, he cried, he wept. I think he identified with the humanity around him because he was human. And this is a great message to us. And some of us need to work through the grief and go away, need time away, whether it's half hour, a day, a weekend, a week, just to work through that. Before making an important decision in Luke 6, early in his ministry, Jesus spent the whole night in prayer alone. And then he chose his 12 disciples. How many of us take time to pray before any major decision? That's really interesting. I'm not talking about the 1-minute prayer. Dear God, please be my wisdom. I do that one a lot. But do we really wrestle in prayer? Say, Father, clear my mind. Take the distractions. Folks, we don't realize how much clogging is in our mind right now that has to be cleared and pulled out. And sometimes the only way is through prayer, contemplation, meditation, whatever it is. and it releases that so we can think and see more clearly. And some of us are going to be really embarrassed at the patterns we're going to see after we deconstruct our clutteredness. Jesus went away. He went off to pray in times of distress. In Luke 22, this is before he was arrested and hours before he was going to go on trial, and then before his crucifixion. He prayed. He went away. He even brought his closest of the closest disciples and then still went away from them to privately pray. Lastly, Jesus went away to focus on prayer. In Luke 5:16, many times Jesus' ministry, he spent time alone in prayer. And the reason this is written is because they noticed. So listen, this is good news. I don't think this is a mistake. The fact that we're talking about these really important things. Please take time to consider being still and going off to pray. Those are two gifts I'm going to give you today. I'm going to practice it this week too. This is, again, I'm speaking to myself a lot today, but hopefully some of you connected with this as well. All right, let's wrap this up. What do we got next? Reminders. All right. Donations. Don't forget to make your online donations. We need that to keep going. Also, don't forget to reach out for your coffee order. For those who want good coffee, give me an email or a call or text and tell me what kind you want. I've got 4 kinds. And then, of course, we're going to do our after church Zoom. I believe Jen's going to host that. I hope she is, because I didn't send out the link for that, but I'll join in. And then if you want to join in that conversation, don't forget to message me on Facebook or email me, mike@hopefellowshipycc.com. I hope today was encouraging for you. It was a thrill to connect and be back. I've had a good time away, and we have a lot of work to do moving ahead. Pray for our leadership team. Lots of stuff going on, plans of reopening. Yeah, so stay tuned to your emails that we send out each week. And who else has said a few words here? Let's jump quickly at the comments. Brian, hey, good morning. Good to see you there. Zach, he says, I'm sorry I'm late. Too funny. And Cecil, good morning, Cecil and Charles Norris. That's great. Great to see you guys on here. That's all I've got for now. So we're going to sign off. So if you got the link for our after church coffee Zoom, go join that link in just a moment. I'm going to shut this all down, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.